What's up, everybody? My name's Muoki. I'm a realtor here in Leesburg, Virginia. Welcome to Mall Space Real Estate. I'm here to give it to you real raw and always abiding by fair housing law. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Been here before. Just hold on one second. I'm going to get right to it. I want to remind you to get your free Homebuyer Pro Kit in the description before you get up out of here. And your phone is your friend. So hit me up any way you want, any way you like, and I will take care of you. If you're thinking about moving, relocating, or anything you need to know about Northern Virginia, I got your back. Today we're talking about the 7 most important things you got to know if you're thinking about moving to South Riding, Virginia. Now, I did a video a few weeks back talking about South Riding, where it is, kind of what's going on, just a general overview. But now we're talking about the 7 things that you got to know before moving out to South Riding, Virginia. And we're starting with number 1. So first thing you got to know about South Riding is that a lot of people move here because of the schools. I've talked before about Loudoun County Public Schools. You know, one, I'm biased, towards them because I went to Loudoun County Public Schools, but also just objectively, the school district is one of the best school districts in the state. I'll, probably even say it in the country. But in terms of like in South Riding itself, the schools are highly rated, one on great schools on niche. Even just residents themselves talk about the quality of education that you get in South Riding. One of the key indicators that that talks about the probability of a higher quality education is student to teacher ratios. So student to teacher ratio is about 13 to 22 students per teacher, and that's from ranging from elementary all the way up to high school. And just in 2020, Freedom High School was awarded the College Success Award for just its ability to nurture students who can become successful in college. So the schools are highly rated. It's receiving awards as well, being recognized for their achievements and for their quality. And so this is the first thing you got to recognize: the schools are good. Matter of fact, the schools are exceptional. And this is one of the big reasons that draws people here. Second most important thing you got to keep in mind and know when you move into South Riding is crime and safety. What is South Riding a safe place to live? What does the data show? What do the residents say about living in South Riding? Now, the data shows that the crime in South Riding is significantly lower than the national average in 2 important categories, 3 important categories. Overall crime in South Riding is 68% lower than the national average. Violent crime is 76% lower than the national average, and property crime is 66% lower, below the national average. And so you've got the data that's telling a story that it is a safe place to be. Residents talk about how just South Riding is a place that is great to nurture families, to grow families, for young kids to grow up, right? So the residents themselves also tell a story. Loudoun County, I've talked about Loudoun County Sheriff and just their transparency in what's going on with the community in terms of community safety. And so you've got the law enforcement involvement in the community, the data, and the residents are telling a subjective and objective story that correlates that South Riding is a very safe place to be in relation to Virginia and even in the country as a whole. So the third thing you got to know about South Riding is the household income and employment. Now, South Riding is not very big, about 30,000 people. Geographically, it's 7 square miles. And so it's small, but it's very concentrated in terms of the people that live there. Unemployment is at 3% in South Riding. That basically means everybody's got a job. All right. So household income in South Riding is about $144,000 per year. So that's very high. It's a lot higher than the Loudoun County average. So it's not cheap. But one of the things that you get with this, with the higher cost of living, is you get a higher quality of services and goods. And this is the fourth thing that you gotta know about living in South Riding is the cost of living. The cost of living in South Riding is 55 times higher than the national average. And I just mentioned that the average home is about $640,000. The housing in South Riding is 155% higher, 155% higher than the national average in terms of housing. So you've got these high prices, and this is high cost of living, high housing prices. I talk about this in every video I do like this. It's standard across the board in Northern Virginia. If you want to live here, just recognize this is one of the things that you really have to wrap your head around. And so you've got a high cost of living, a high housing prices, but you get a higher quality of life, and that's verified through residents, through the data. Loudoun County in general is one of the healthiest counties in the country. So you get quality access to goods and services based on the higher cost of living. Which brings me to the fifth thing that you gotta know, talking about cost of living is the A side of the tape. The B side of the tape is the quality of life. I've talked about the schools are good. I've talked about how the residents tell the story. South Riding schools are ranked number 7 in the state of Virginia. South Riding itself is ranked the second best suburb to raise a family in Virginia. South Riding itself is ranked number 5, the 5th best place to live in the state of Virginia. And so you see what I'm saying is that you pay a lot to live there, but you also get a lot because you live there. When it comes to quality of life, a lot of what it takes can't be measured by numbers. It's told through stories. So residents talk a lot about what it means to live there. Now, some residents have said that the house we live in now, if it was on the market now, we wouldn't be able to buy it. But so you've got that. It's the story flows in and out. But for the most part, residents are in unison when they talk about how much they love living there, how much some residents have lived there, they've moved away, and they say that if they could, they would move back, right? This is where they would move to if they were in Northern Virginia. So the quality of life is high, and you've also, when it comes to quality of life and employment, a lot of access to opportunities, and for opportunities not just for everyone in general who's working, but opportunities for the upcoming generations to experience similar and even higher levels of success than their parents do. So that's one of the measures of health and a quality of life. And so that's one of the things that South Riding provides. So just recognize this is the flip side to a high cost of living is a high quality of life. Oh, and even thinking of quality of life, this is the sixth thing we're talking about. It's health and community services. The South Riding HOA is very, very, very involved in the residents' lives, in creating opportunities and ways for residents to be a part of what's going on, right? One of the things that you want to have in an HOA is like, hey, if major decisions are being made about your livelihood, that you are involved in the decision-making process, right? I talked about in the previous video about South Riding, about the Megan Walker, memorial, where they, built a pond, and place where we can, the community can, memorialize her and remember, her and everything that she meant to the community, right? So that a lot of these decisions are spurred on by, the association, the homeowners association, saying, look, how can we, honor the people that live here, right? So you've got this HOA that's very involved. Also helps that there's a golf course in the community, right? That helps in terms of talking about involvement, right? So you've got that there. And in terms of health, you've got the Stone Springs Hospital. Inova is also close by. And so you've got, some of the major health and hospital service providers in Northern Virginia. are really close by to the South Riding area. And also along with those, you've also got the other health providers as well that, with for your vision, dental, and everything like that, that are close by, that even that residents talk a lot about, particularly the ones with families talk about that, that's something that's important, is being able to know that, God forbid, an emergency or at a moment's notice that, you and the people you care about are well taken care of, and that care is accessible. And that's the sixth thing that people that you got to know if you thinking about moving here. And the very last thing is overall, South Riding is ranked given an A+ in terms of rating for a city in Northern Virginia. What this means is that South Riding, what it offers is comparable and is matches out to the cost that it takes to live there. But at the same time, the encouraging thing about it is that you don't have to live in South Riding to benefit from the quality of services and goods and everything like that South Riding has to offer. It's a small little city, but everything, if you want to go to South Riding, it's not far. If you're in South Riding and you want to experience other things that other cities have, for example, one of the things that South Riding is rated low for is nightlife, right? It's tiny, it's a suburb, ain't a whole lot that goes on at night. You've got Reston, you've got Fair Oaks, you've got Fairfax that are super close by. In fact, Chantilly just is right on the border, right? So that stuff is close by as well. And so you've got proximity to things that if it's not in South Riding, it's close by somewhere else, right? And if you're somewhere else and you want to experience South Riding and to experience that, small suburban town, expensive town, right? It's close by, close to you as well. So I hope this has been helpful to you. It's just things you gotta, consider, when you're thinking of moving here. Comment below if there's anything I missed, or if there's something I said that resonated with you, or if you want to hit me up and talk more about South Riding or whatever you're trying to do in the real estate market, in Northern Virginia. My contact is below. Hit me up. You've got access to my calendar. You can slot yourself in wherever is available. Subscribe, join the team if that's something you're into. Always excited for new members to the team. It's always a pleasure from me to you. Until next time, take care.